Satnam and Namaste. Thank you for joining the gathering this week on Thursday rather than Wednesday. I won't lie, I was feeling quite a bit like a sacred rebel yesterday, and I went to a last-minute gathering, and it was incredibly beautiful and intimate, and I lived out organically, mind you, one of my goals since I was a little child, and it was just fabulous. And it was absolutely a Pisces moon, and I placed myself by the water, and it was really quite a beautiful organic adventure, and I hope that you all, in your own spaces, in however you experience, that you got to have a beautiful full moon last night as well. And in the spirit of feeling like a sacred rebel yesterday, I wanted to use Alana Fairchild's Sacred Rebel Oracle deck today, and I just pulled a divination for us that I haven't even seen before, so I'm excited to read this as well. And this is number 29, Seeing the True You. I love this little teacup. Sometimes we believe what others tell us we are, as though the self we see reflected back to us through their eyes is truth. Yet the accuracy of a reflection depends on the clarity of that which is doing the reflecting. If the receiver forms any opinion about what is perceived, then what is reflected back to us will, at best, be distorted. It is not necessarily through ill will, it is just the mechanics of the situation. Even the moon reflects the sun in varying degrees of fullness and clarity. We can learn something of the nature of sun from the moon, but not as much as through direct perception. This oracle has come to you because you have been putting rather too much faith in the reflections others have of you, to the point that you might not be honoring all that you are and all that you are becoming because you believe too little of yourself. There may be those around you that are able to reflect to you more faithfully and even help you see more of your own greatness and beauty. These are the souls blessed with inner stillness. In the clear waters of their ocean of consciousness, you can come to recognize yourself with clearer perception. However, there are those who have not tended to their own ocean and are unable to be still enough to genuinely receive and reflect your light back to you. There is no judgment here. Each takes the path of self-healing that is available and appropriate at any given time. However, to attempt to see the magnificence of a sun in a very partial moon doesn't make too much sense. If you are blessed with those in your life who can show you the beauty within you, wonderful. Even so, this oracle comes to you with a task you are now ready for. You are to begin to develop the art of direct perception. This is the ability to recognize yourself not only in the eyes of others, but from how you feel about yourself, how you experience yourself, how you observe yourself with compassion and kindness from within. This is a step towards a radical empowerment that does not require perfection in order for you to recognize you are lovable and have much to offer. It is empowerment based on the acceptance of all that you are, working with your strengths, tending to your weaknesses, and being loving, encouraging, and nurturing of all that you perceive. As you continue on this journey, you will not only see your human self, but the eternal within you. This is a breathtaking experience that opens you up to creative energy that flows abundantly through all of life. It is an experience that takes great preparation because we must be strong within our own self-love and acceptance to be able to hold acceptance for all of life. This oracle is nudging you into that preparation, for when you have the experience of truly beholding yourself, all judgment, fear, and doubt will fall away, and you will just know yourself to be sacred. Then you will be asked to embrace the deeper journey of sacred rebellion against judgment and fear, and into passionate creativity and unconditional trust in life. This oracle comes with a special message for you. If you are getting confused about who you are and your motives or actions based on what others are saying or how they are responding to you, step back. In your quest to be a responsible person, you may be unintentionally taking on the feelings of others, making their reflections of you more than they are in truth. More often than not, reflections are more about the state of the reflector than what is being reflected. Let those external perceptions go. Can you just acknowledge yourself? Do so and be free. And the healing process or incantation for this particular card is as follows. I now break any contract I have ever made with another, consciously or unconsciously, that has given them power over me, power over my sense of self, the authority to approve or reject me or anything about me, including my voice, body, creativity, spirituality, and way of living. Of my own free will, I now choose to directly perceive my own inner beauty and turn within with kindness and compassion to see myself through the eyes of unconditional love. So be it. What I really like about this reading was this whole point here of there may be those around you that are able to reflect you more faithfully and even help you see more of your own greatness. I feel like I can only share personal experience because I'm only me. However, recently I've been really realizing or making more connections how it can even be a fleeting moment. Somebody you've never met before, somebody that you'll never see again, somebody that just sits down and says something to you that is just out of the blue, off the wall, completely on point, and like, what did you just say to me? I feel like sometimes or oftentimes we seek that out in the people that we are constantly around, or our loved ones, or our dear friends, and sometimes I do personally feel myself getting lost in other people's perceptions of what they think I'm doing, or why they think I'm doing certain things, or what I really truly stand for. And I think it's very clear and true in so many senses, and I've said it since I was little, that you have yourself and just yourself, no matter how much you try to verbalize, express, show, create, hand to, however you think you are projecting what you stand for. I feel like only you might ever truly clearly know that. And that's where I feel like this whole universal idea from many people, and, written beautifully. I love Alana's descriptions and things like that, that until you can accept that in yourself, how are you gonna, how does projection work? How, it shouldn't rock your boat of having the knowledge that somebody else might not totally understand what you're trying to say. This is quite on point with the conversation I was having last night with one of the beautiful women that I was with. And I think it's important for us all to remember to strive to be our best self, no matter anybody else's opinion. And it also makes me think of small instances, like I don't know what else to name it or label it, but when you meet living angels, or when, like, I've had experiences where complete, vagrant homeless people that are actually babbling and not in their right state of mind, walking by, and they just, reach out and touch you and say the most potent thing that you needed to hear in that moment. It makes me feel like somehow an angel came through that person in that moment, because then they go to complete incoherent babbling after. They just say the most relevant thing that anybody could say to you. A couple weeks ago, I met a living angel that told me about my situation, and I was sitting in a waiting room, and it was just this wild experience of, I was listening, I was taking in information, but the things that I was taking in was uncanny. And I feel like those are angels or spirits, or I really don't know what to label it, but I feel like when life is happening, we all lose track, and it's hard to remember that it's so easy, realize how easy that is. Like when you allow those connections to happen, they just happen. They happen all the time. You have to be consciously open. Another part of a discussion last night is I try my best to be conscious in everything that I do, and what I am putting into my body, or what I'm doing with myself, or what I'm creating, or what I'm working on, who's in my life, how relationships and communication are working. And sometimes I'm screeched to a halt, and I realize that I'm totally unconsciously acting in particular ways. And I think that's well said in Alana's description of really directly perceiving, not getting lost in other people's perceptions, and listening and allowing different experience to color your life, because it really is about humanity and what we're leaving. Even if it's a fleeting moment, you're going to remember that fleeting moment with that person, even if it's not years and years long of a relationship, or it doesn't even have to be physical. I hear a lot of people say that they feel lonely, or that they wish they had friends, or they wish they had a place that they could gather. And I feel like it's really about breaking out of those super uncomfortable zones and finding that. That will find you when you put it out there. And I feel like that was kind of a long rant, but I'm just suggesting that we all stay really direct in perceiving what is going on in our spheres, and how we can best put forth our brightest light and most unconditional love. And I think that when we truly do that, life aligns, things align, things click into place. You realize things you might not have realized before, even though they're right in front of your face. I just hope that came through clearly, that it's good to keep this direct perception without letting anybody else's perceptions taint yours. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week. Thanks for your patience in posting this today instead of yesterday. And if you weren't able to check out the moon last night or the night before, she should still be pretty full tonight, and it's beautiful. So I wish you well. I wish everybody everywhere well. I know there's crazy turmoil all over the place. I've got a lot of family and friends in Florida. And I just think that if we just continue sending love and keep that moving forward, that's what we are able to do in our power. So namaste.